boys. Hey, bring it up. Bring it up. Take a knee. Take a knee. Bradley Van Pelt. Is that who you are today? BVP. Colorado State legend and Denver Broncos legend, local legend, all around great dude. But it ain't gonna win you more brownie points wearing BVP's jersey after you put that stinker out there on Sunday. Now I bet y'all are pretty happy, right? You secured the #1 seed.
We're number 1.
Let's plant that seed in the ground. Step back and pee on it and see what grows. Because I tell you what, we ain't done nothing yet. Keep it in your pants, Jake. I don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see that. America don't want to see that. Gonna have to pull out the magnifying glass. And we don't want to, we don't have equipment.
Coach, come on.
Here.
We got to walk through.
So the point is, we're 14-3.
Well,
that tickle your funny bone, huh? How many touchdowns did we score offensively in this game, Mr. Plummer?
I don't know. We won, though.
You don't know?
Nope. Don't
Let me refresh your memory. 0, all right?
Wait, we won.
See all these goose turds around here?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for a goose egg, because that's what y'all did on offense. We relied on the Broncos defense to carry it for us, and we can't do that going into the playoffs. We're gonna have to score some points, all right? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So I hope you brought your mop and your bucket and them Clorox wipes, because y'all went 0 for 3 in the red zone. Okay, we can move the ball all the way down the field and we get in that scoring zone and something's happening to us. We're getting the shakes. We're starting to feel the pressure. And we gotta clean that up, Jake. So let's start in the red zone and figure out why we ain't putting it in the end zone.
Yeah, that's a great question, Coach Jackson. The goose and gander. A goose says, you know, the red zone, everything gets tight. Everything gets short. You can't go deep. You can't push off top. You got to like kind of assert your will and know like everything's going to be quicker. And it gets intense down there because you know they're going to go, oh, the failure in the red zone is why you lost. Of course it is, because you got to put points on the board to win. I love the first drive the Broncos had this last week. Then they got down to the red zone after they're running and doing a lot of quick throws. All of a sudden it stopped. And I don't know why. And so some of it is players maybe getting tight and not pulling the trigger. But I think some of it, most of it is because of play call.
You think so?
I think so. We get all the way down to the 6 and all of a sudden we start throwing the ball sideways behind the line of scrimmage. That makes no sense to me. If I got a 6'5" Courtland Sutton split out here and we have any other play on and he's man-to-man and the safety's not over the top of him, and I got 6 yards and then 10 yards to the back pylon, I'm gonna look at him and have a signal, and I'm gonna snap the ball, take a step, and throw that thing up with some anticipation and let him go get it, because that's what we pay him for. He's a big, huge, physical, tough receiver, and I wanna see that.
That's his skill set too.
I'd like to see it though.
And I wanna see it too. And you know who it
And
is?
even like catching the ball and grabbing the guy and saying, get off, and going further. Like, we wanna see that out of a guy who's got those physical attributes.
Courtland Sutton's best skill is that high point ball. Is pulling the improbable catch down to the end zone and toe tapping for 6. He does that time and time again. Last year, he made so many spectacular catches. The year before that, he seems to come up with those balls. What he doesn't do well is to throw him the ball behind the line of scrimmage and have him try to juke 3 guys and take it to the house. That's not Courtland Sutton.
Nope.
He had 1 catch in the game for 5 yards on a little tiddly-toot, wibbly-woo.
Pressure, and the pass complete. Sutton's first catch, and he's not going to quite get the first down yardage. Stopped about 3 yards short, gain of 5.
And he got 5 yards.
Hey, we're gonna run double wing right, tiddly-doop, widdly-doop.
On 1.
2, ready? Is that the call?
Yeah, that's the call, and it's a -3.
That's a bad call.
It's a bad call.
Coach, call better play.
Courtland Sutton is a 6'4" beast who knows how to high point a football. They call it a 50-50 ball. To me, when you got a guy like him who knows how to do it and a DB who doesn't, it's more like a 60-40, 70-30. I've said this before, 80-20, 90-10.
Yeah.
And it's a simple play. And you're not relying on a receiver or a tight end to go block a guy. And those guys are coming downhill. You made a point when we were talking earlier. Those swing passes are more effective when guys are backing up.
Yeah.
In the red zone, they're not backing up.
They're not backing up. They're gonna go sit at 2 yards in the end zone and watch you, whatever you're gonna do. And the other thing about a fade route to a guy, anybody, Troy Franklin's super tall and lengthy, get up and get it. you can get a PI too.
Yeah.
And if there's a PI now, it's 1st and goal on the half-yard line. I mean, it's a reset of the downs. It's not a critique here, but it's an option that we're not seeing that I would love to see, because it will advance Bo's game too, because Bo, who we know, has a cannon. He loves to rip it. I want to see Bo show me some touch. And that would be a great start to just see Bo go and throw it up and let his receiver go get it.
So there were a couple plays in the red zone that speak to what you were just talking about,
Yes.
the touch, right? The one to Troy Franklin, we talked about it in the cold tub. Troy Franklin found that little turkey hole there, and Bo just kind of rifled it through there. And then the very next play, or it was one of the next plays, it was a little, the running back was running into the flat.
Whatever, a little banana.
A little banana. Bo just sailed it. He was like, he's running. He just
That was a bad throw. And there was a guy between him. But again, when you have a clear space, I can rip it to Harvey. You put a body between us, now is where my game takes over, and I got to go up and over, but still get it to be accurate and drop it down in there. And I haven't seen that yet on many occasions where Bo changes the velocity.
And then as a receiver, the type of ball that gets thrown to you, that really matters.
Oh, catchable ball.
Yeah,
It throws a catchable ball, but sometimes it's a little bit too juice.
But you got to sometimes take something off it.
And what it does when you take a little bit off, there's a thing called velocity. And a guy going on a crossing route, if I rip it at him, I got one window to hit. But if I see him going and I go and put it out front like that, now he can see it, even maybe take a look to see where the guys are, come back to it, catch it, and go make a play. And that's just next level anticipation. And I think that's the next thing we're going to see out of Bo's development, is anticipating rather than reacting and ripping it, which he's great at. He's been doing great all year. There's been a few moments where it's like, you can anticipate balls. And when you throw a soft anticipation ball, it gives the receiver a little more of a chance to adjust to it, rather than he turns and bam, that thing's on him. Plus then my accuracy doesn't have to be 100%.
Well, a good example of that is Peyton Manning when he was a Bronco. He didn't have some crazy arm. He was in his late 30s.
He's a Bronco his whole career.
I mean, especially when he's a Bronco, though, because he'd had the neck. I mean, he had a lot of physical stuff go on.
It was a beautiful thing to watch.
And so he would know exactly where you're coming out of your break, and the timing, he would throw it before you even started your break.
Yeah, a wobbly non-spiral, you're like, where the hell's he throwing it?
Yeah, so I'm coming out of my break, and the ball's already in the air, and I'm turning, and it's right here, okay? And so it's not beating me up. It's not going over my head. It's not breaking my wrist. What it's doing is hitting me right in the basket when the timing's right there, and then I can make a move on it.
Yep.
And I think that's an element of Bo's game that he's still yet to figure out. And you think that's because, why do you think that is?
It may be the course of action leading up to now being in the NFL, that everything's gone and guys are going to spots, and your job is to rip it into these spots because you know the defense and they're running the zones. Instead of a guy running a corner or a post corner, and you know he's going to go there, and you don't wait to see that he went beat and then rip it 45 yards. You see him going, oh man, he's got the safety inside, the corner's up, throwing this thing out there now, letting him run to it.
Another good example from the game is Evan Ingram's catch that he had.
Yeah.
That deep cross, he was kind of open.
And on play action, wanting to go down the field, he does. He's got his man, it's Ingram. And he is ridden down finally inside the 10-yard line.
Back in the day, you come out of the play fake, and I come up and I see the linebackers up and I see the Dave safety's back and I see him. I'm not throwing it at him. I'm putting it out in front so he can go do what he does best, catch and run. And so what Bo, again,
he gunned it,
still
was behind
completed
him,
but he saw it. He wanted to throw it earlier. He kind of but he waited and then he ripped it. And so again, when you rip it, the margin for error goes up because you got to be accurate. Kudos to Bo. He's accurate. He is very accurate. But as he develops, maybe not this year, but as his progression into becoming the QB we want him to be and hope he becomes, anticipation will be real. Doug Flutie was one of the best ever at it. Being short, he had to anticipate, get the ball out. The great ones, they all can rip it, but they all know when to take a little bit off and throw the ball with some touch.
So when I was coming out of college and I was trying to be an NFL wide receiver, the knock on me was that I was too slow. All my life, people had been saying, you're too slow. You're not fast enough to do that. You're not fast enough. So it became
pretty slow.
So exactly, I was very slow. So it got in my head a lot. So when I was always trying to speed up. So I'd speed up through my route and not trust the depth. And I was sometimes short on the route because I'm thinking, I'm not fast enough to get there, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm speeding up my gait because I'm trying to make it, make my steps faster.
Yeah.
So it was always in my head until I really understood the timing and I understood where I fit in and all that. The knock on Bo coming out was that his arm wasn't strong. People were actually critiquing his arm. Like people in this market, people were like experts, quarterback whisperers, saying Bo doesn't have the arm strength.
I'm not gonna say anything about all those guys that know their stuff, but
what I'm saying is, does a critique of your game get in your head to where he thinks he has to rip everything?
That very well could be. It's a great point you make, Nate. I mean, if he's reading and listening to that stuff, but
I really like interceptions are, you can't throw picks.
And you can't get sacked. And
you can't make a mistake.
Yeah, you got to play perfect. You got to manage the game. And like, we saw a little bit of that early in his career last year where he argued with Peyton.
Yeah.
And you saw him like kind of be fighting with like, don't tell me where to go with the ball. I'm going to go with it where I want. And I love to see that. But then again, like, you may be right. I was undersized, not big enough, wasn't going to be durable enough, didn't have a strong arm. But then I went to the Shrine in the Senior Bowl, and these guys saw me throw next to these big, huge guns with huge arms and durability, and they're like, "Whoa, he's got just as good an arm."
Yeah.
And then I went into the league, and I didn't get hurt that much. Played 10 years, didn't miss many games. So you can hear those things, but you wash it out and be the player that you know you can be and become yourself. And we're seeing that with Bo. I'm not critiquing Bo. Bo's had a phenomenal season. I think he's played extremely well. He's a great leader. It's just the next step is like seeing some touch, seeing some balls that are more catchable in areas where we need it, especially the red zone.
Yeah, and those receivers want to see that as well. They don't always want to have to get their hands beat up or, be barely catching something.
Yep.
Let's let them come out of their break, have a ball here, and then get to make a move.
Yes, and where that helps a lot is screen game.
Yeah, screen. And before we get into the screen game, real quick, let's hear from our trusted sponsor.
Real quick, we want to thank our sponsor for the walkthrough, American Financing, and remind you that if you're a homeowner, it's time to wipe out your debt and start 2026 stress-free. With the feds dropping their rates yet again, American Financing can help you access your home's equity at rates in the low fives. That's a fraction of what credit card companies charge. Borrowers are saving an average of $800 a month, which is like a $10,000 raise. And you may even be able to delay 2 mortgage payments. There are no upfront fees, and you can close in as fast as 10 days. So call 888-991-9788 today or visit americanfinancing.net/coldtub. American Financing, Colorado's home for home loans.
All right, and we're back. Let's talk about the screen game.
The screen game.
Because there's a nuance to the screen game, and I'm not talking about these receiver screens that they're throwing. I'm not talking about a really stupid invention, which would be screen door on a submarine, right? You don't want to let the breeze in. The breeze is water, and you're going to drown.
What about like screening out on a basketball shot?
Ah, yes, screen. Well, there's a little bit of that.
Or
you come to the
set a screen on
picks, right?
They call that a pick.
But
it used to be called a screen.
Yeah, so there's lots of different screens.
Screen out.
Right?
Right. Box
They
out,
screen.
box out.
They screen you for different drugs or whatever.
Screened at the airport.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right. Unless you have TSA pre, then they let you go on.
So that's not fake. That's
those
real.
aren't the screens we're talking about.
No.
We're talking about the screens, not the most wide receiver screens that we see a lot on the
Bubble
side.
screens. They call that a bubble screen.
Right.
Or whatever.
But the screen to the running back that involves the offensive lineman acting a little bit and setting up a bunch of guys to block down the field. Can you talk a little bit about the screen game and how it's run?
Yeah, the screen game is only effective when, one, you're either dropping back from center or in shotgun, taking some drops, and you're throwing the ball downfield. You're working on time, your linemen are blocking, the defense is getting after it, and you see a ferocious rush. That's when a screen needs to get called. But the art behind that is that the linemen, when they're down, they can't just like get beat real quick, because a savvy D lineman is gonna go, oh, and see the back looking kind of fake, and he's gonna stop, and he's gonna shadow that back, and now I'm dropping back, and I got nowhere to go. So the key to this is
Tyler Bidet, by the way, had 2 screens for first downs in the game.
They were great calls, great plays, very well executed.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because the line set and they popped. They engaged for at least a couple counts. It's all a timing thing. The running back came up, scanned his blockers, made it look real, and Bo catches the ball, keeps his head downfield looking like it's a pass, sets up, draws them to him, then he retreats and gives Bidet a good ball. So the key of this, obviously, it's an acting job.
Yeah.
And it's a good timing, well-timed call by the offensive coordinator. good call at the right moment. It doesn't soften the rush, but it does make them start guessing a little bit. And that ball requires touch, because sometimes you're going back, you're a defender, and you're coming right at me. Now I got to get that ball up and over you and still down to my running back, not too far, because remember, there's D linemen now that have been stoned or stonewalled, and linebackers are maybe coming up. There could be someone there. Then what happens after that? The ball's caught. Now the linemen have let their guy go after engaging and showing pass. They go out at an angle flat to the line of scrimmage and start seeing who's coming. And then it's the running back's job to read those blocks, because they could happen anywhere, and go get some yardage.
And there was a big first down by Tyler Bidet. 2 big first downs.
Yes.
He's the third down back. They all have specialized roles, you know? And so to me, if I see Tyler Bidet come in.
Third down screen.
Right, exactly.
Or something to him.
So, I mean, everyone's watching film, and of course, Sean Payton knows that. So he's probably got hopefully a trick up his sleeve. Now,
We call that tendencies.
tendencies.
It's a tendency that when he comes in, he's going to get the ball
Right.
on screen.
So what are your thoughts about this idea that Sean Payton was keeping it vanilla on purpose, not to kind of expose what they want to do or kind of, you know, shoot all his guns in these last couple games, but is really going to unleash his playbook next week?
I hope so. I mean, it would seem that, you know, the weeks prior, they had some really sustained drives that went for 14 plus plays. They had 8 drives in 2 weeks. Those are great, but I would love to see some explosive plays.
Yeah.
We've had a few this year, but I'd love to see some deep bombs completed for whether it's a 50-yard gain or a 70-yard touchdown. Like, take the top off.
Yes.
That's what's going to be the difference here, because you can't go into the playoffs playing these teams that are coming around, that could be coming around, not scoring a touchdown, number one, or only putting up field goals.
Yeah.
Because our defense is good, but we're facing some good offenses too, that they've been shown that they can get. There's some leaks there.
Yeah.
And the defense is good, but there are some leaks there, and a good quality offensive coordinator is going to find those. So this is a very strategic chess game that's going to be played. If he was pulling back because it was really a meaningless game, we're in the playoffs, probably going to get a home playoff game with the number 2 seed. Either way, you want that home field. Did he pull it back? I don't know. Only Sean knows.
Yeah.
But it did look a little lack. It did look a little flat. It felt flat in the stands. We even heard boos.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, okay, we felt like this game.
Are you sure they weren't saying boo?
I don't think so.
Oh, they added an O.
Boo.
Maybe they thought it was Halloween.
Boo. Bonito.
All right, so yeah, a 14-play drive, a 16-play drive, those kind of sound good, and they are good to an extent, but that means you're not really having any chunk plays. They're all like 6 yards, 8 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards.
And even just not just offense. I mean, offense doing their thing. We got defense. You know, Riley Moss, you've been playing great all year.
Yeah.
God, he had a chance, you know. Those plays got to be made.
Well, he jumped that out.
When we make those plays, you know, that's the difference when you go further on in the playoffs. So it's the punter punted one, shanked one, and then the next time blasted it through the end zone. It's like those things, if they're not executed well, can put you in peril of not winning the game or making it harder to win. And if that's the case, I have faith in these Broncos. They've been tested all year. They've won a lot of close games. They've had the ball in their hands, down with hardly any time left, and they pulled out a win. So let's hope they continue that.
They're finding ways to win as a team.
Yep.
It's not always the offense doing it. Sometimes it's the defense that pick you up. But now it's win and go home, Jake Plummer.
That's all for all the marbles now. You
Todos.
win, you keep going, you lose, you make vacation plans.
Todos los marbles. All the marbles. We'll be back here next week to break it down. Jake, bring it in. Walk through on 3.
1, 2, 3, walk through.